Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Speaker and Author Success Series. I am Lawrence J. Clark, and my lovely wife, Kristen Clark, is here with me. Would you like to say hi to everybody, Kristen?
I started off saying hi to everyone.
Oh, well, let's say hi again for the recording. There we go. Actually, she's going to be leading the whole presentation tonight, so you get to listen to somebody else for a change, and actually, she's been doing about as many or even more than I have. I can't remember the exact number, but sometimes we switch off, sometimes we do them together. And tonight, she's got something special for y'all, so listen up. All right, and just before we get started, just a little bit about Kristen. She has 25 years sales and marketing experience. She's worked in business planning and strategy for one of the world's top computer companies. And she's also an author. She's a speaker. She speaks on gratitude and a lot of women's conferences, that kind of thing. She's got a brand new book out called Becoming a Woman of Worth, and I actually read it, and now I want to be a worthy woman too. So anyway, she also has her own coaching, online coaching. So just look her up, Google her, look at the website she's going to show you, and she'll tell you more later. But she's got lots of cool stuff, and she's really cute too.
See, you have to say that. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, so thank you, my darling husband, Lawrence, who is a platinum certified sales trainer, which is just really awesome. Also an author and speaker. And the part I love the most about your credentials is this PhD in persuasive rhetoric. And I cannot tell you all how much I have learned just from this man alone. So for me, it's been a gift and a real ongoing educational experience.
So you actually listen to me sometimes? Is that what you're admitting in public?
Believe it or not. Yes,
okay.
yes. That's funny.
All right. Well, let's get on with our topic, which I know you've been working on really hard. So I'm ready for you to hear it. So if y'all are ready out there, can you just let us know you can still hear us? And because this is the part where she's going to start teaching you stuff. So we're done bragging about each other here,
Yes.
but we just want to make sure you know that it's coming through. And okay, we've got several people online here tonight, so that's great. Okay, good. So are you ready, Kristen?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
In fact, I'll just share with everyone that tonight's topic was inspired by a request. One of our members had sent a note in asking if we were going to do anything on LinkedIn. And I thought, now's a good time as any. And so tonight's topic is LinkedIn Power Secrets, 7 strategies for LinkedIn success. And just in the spirit of transparency, I'll share with you all that I am not an avid LinkedIn participant, not nearly as much as Lawrence is. Lawrence is on LinkedIn. He's very connected with people. He's very committed to using LinkedIn as one of his many social media tools. And it's a great tool. And so as I was doing research for tonight's topic, I have now become convinced I have some work to do of my own to get myself engaged a little bit more and participating more with LinkedIn. Anyway, so thank you to the comments that you send us. And I just want to share with you that if you have other topics you'd like to hear about in the future, send us a note. Let us know what you'd like to hear about. We'll do what we can to make sure to do a spotlight and an episode on it. So again, tonight is LinkedIn Power Secrets, 7 strategies for LinkedIn success. And I'll share with you that our topic tonight, or our sponsor tonight, because we always have a sponsor, is a program called 6-Figure LinkedIn Secrets. And I just love that program name, 6-Figure LinkedIn Secrets. And so I'll share with you a little more about that. And you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned. Really hang with us. You'll be really thrilled about what we have to share with you there. So as usual, our promise to you is to deliver information about the latest tools and strategy, and to do our best, give you our best effort in our research and our deliverables. And so at the end of this session, you'll have to let me know how I did in terms of this promise. And then also finally to provide for you ethical and inexpensive ways I'm a big fan of inexpensive. Resources are limited, including time and money. Ethical and inexpensive ways to attract visitors to your page and turn them into stark raving fans. Because as entrepreneurs, we can all use stark raving fans.
Right.
So, okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So Guy Kawasaki, whom I don't know if you know who he is or not, he's the author of the very popular book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He wrote an article called 10 Social Media Tips for Authors. And you might want to look this up, Google it when you get a chance, Guy Kawasaki. Anyways, in this article that I found of his, he talks about the 5 Ps of social media. And I got a really big kick out of this, and I wanted to just share it with you. The 5 Ps of social media. So the first one is people. Facebook is for people. So this is people you went to high school with, this is colleagues, this is friends, this is family, this is people. This is where we socialize with people. And I know many of us have Facebook business pages, and this is a great opportunity for us as a business or an entrepreneur who is trying to sell more books or get more speaking gigs or get more coaching clients to use Facebook. But the key concept here is that we're marketing to businesses. I mean, to people. Really important. The other one is that Twitter is for perceptions, and I just thought this was so funny. Twitter is for perceptions. This is where we can type in our really short messages, something like, I feel an earthquake and I'm in Chile.
Danger in 140 words. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Nice.
I thought that was great. Then the third one is Google Plus is for passions. So passions such as photography that you cannot share as easily with your Facebook people. Google Plus is for passions. Pinterest is for pinning pictures. And one thing about Pinterest is there's really little interaction. It's not as social as some of the other platforms like Facebook, for example, because really all you can do is pin and repin, right? Upload a picture and repin it. Pinterest is for pinning. And then finally, this one I loved, LinkedIn is for pimping.
What? I knew there's a reason she wasn't showing me these slides today. Yes.
Isn't that funny?
There we go.
LinkedIn is for pimping, as in making business connections. I know. Okay, not
Reality
my words.
webinars here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the words of the infamous Guy Kawasaki, again, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I think, Lawrence, you said he's got a number of products typed to that. In his article, 10 Social Media Tips for Authors. So LinkedIn, pimping, we're pimping here. So here we go.
I thought this was a family show. Yikes.
I know. The rest of it is, I promise.
All right.
LinkedIn is for authors, speakers, and coaches. And I really just want to share with you in particular 4 reasons why. Why you should use this as one of your many social media marketing tools, right? Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest if you're a Pinterest fan, Instagram, and LinkedIn really needs to be part of that toolbox, so to speak. So reason number 1, LinkedIn, like some of the other social media marketing tools, boosts your search engine rankings. And so what that means is that you get Google points, so to speak, with Google as a search engine. Anytime that you link in LinkedIn to one of your websites or one of your blog sites, that link itself gets raised, elevated in the search engine rankings. And so LinkedIn is just a very popular resource with Google, and Google's a fan of it, and Google considers it or weights it, prioritizes it, I should say, more than some of the other social media platforms in terms of rankings. So something to think about. The second reason is that LinkedIn answers questions. And some would say this about Facebook as well, but I think LinkedIn does a much better job. You know, it's not uncommon to have a question and go out onto your LinkedIn page and post a question And it could be a question about publishing. It could be a question about coaching practices, group coaching, private coaching. Could be a question about speaking tips, how to connect with people, etc. And as soon as you post, somebody will provide an answer. The other thing that's interesting about it is that you get access to a wider variety of real expertise, more so than you get from Facebook. So if you're really looking for answers to a question and it's specific to a business, you know, the business of coaching or the business of writing and publishing or the business of speaking, this is a great place to get answers to your questions. The third reason LinkedIn is so great is because it establishes your credibility. And one of the things that's great about LinkedIn is that if someone asks a question, like we were just talking about, anyone can go in and give an answer. And answers can get rated. Readers can go in and rate the answer. And so if you give an answer and it's a really good answer and it's rated really well, then it shows up on your profile. And so that's a really great way to establish and demonstrate your expertise and credibility. Great way to get your name out there. That's one of the reasons why experts are so willing to answer your questions, by the way, on LinkedIn, because they know this. And so this is a great forum for getting real, honest, practical, applicable answers, because the people who are answering it know that if they give you a good answer, it gets rated and it shows up in their profile, which establishes their credibility. So if you are a published author or a publisher or a distinguished speaker or coach, this is a great way for you to answer questions, and then if they're rated highly, then that gives you more credibility. Really neat feature. Facebook does not have that as an example. And then the fourth reason is
can I add something to that, Kristen?
Yeah. Yes,
I'd like to say also that, like you're about to say, with connecting you with the agents, editors, and potential clients, the people that are in groups with you on LinkedIn tend to be a little more serious and tend to be more professional. So you go on Facebook, there are some business groups on there, but it's more seen as more of a, even in the business groups, it's seen more of as a social time, unless they have a specific mission sometimes, right? So it depends on the group, of course. But what I've seen in general is that the Facebook groups tend to be more social, even if they claim to be business oriented. Whereas the LinkedIn ones are almost always business oriented, and if you start putting pictures of your puppies and talking about your surgery on your big toe, people just don't care. Right?
Yeah, actually that's a great point, and I'm going to talk a little bit more here in a minute about groups and how to use them, but you make a really great point. LinkedIn is really for people doing business with each other, and so use it for business purposes. As a speaker, an author, and a coach, this is where you want to be. And so what I want to do now is just share with you 7 strategies for LinkedIn success. And this isn't an exhaustive list by any means. I've seen a number of lists out there with anywhere from 12 to 15 strategies. For me, these are the ones that I thought were probably the most impactful. And so as someone who's going to go into LinkedIn and beef up my account, these are the things I'm personally going to work on. And so I wanted to share with you this is like my personal 7 strategies for LinkedIn success. So the first one is complete your profile. And I have to admit that completing a profile on LinkedIn can be time-consuming. I'm not familiar with any other social media networks that have such an exhaustive profile available to be populated. And so make the time to do this and do it right and do it well. You know, there's some really great features in the profile that you can use, and I just want to encourage everyone to set aside the time it takes to complete your profile. Complete everything. Fill out as much information as possible. Include your current and your past work histories or projects. Make sure you include honors and awards, anything that you've just completed or you're working on or you're starting shortly. And then also I want to suggest that you keep your profile what we call keyword rich. And so for those of you who don't know what that means, what I'm referring to is keeping your profile filled or littered, written with words that are keywords, meaning words that are the most commonly used words for people to search, for people like you. So if you were looking for yourself, someone just like you as an author or a speaker or coach, what would be the keywords that you would use in, say, the Google search box to find someone just like you? And then populate your profile with those keywords. That's what I mean by keyword rich. Really important. The next item or strategy I would say is feature your book or your speaking topic or your service. So feature your book. In the publications section of your profile, you can list the details about the books you've written, the books you've contributed to, the journals, the articles, reports. You can also add a synopsis of each of those writings and a link to learn more about the book or that writing project. So a really great place to pimp your book, so to speak, right? And you can link to your books page on Amazon or another distributor if you're using someone else. You can also just link your book to your own book's webpage if it has its own webpage, or to your author website. So make sure to feature your book, really important. A third strategy, now this goes back to what you were saying, Lawrence, is to participate in groups and start one. So the groups in LinkedIn are really very active and serious. These are serious people coming together, like-minded people coming together with a real intention to share information with one another. And so you can find all kinds of groups, and I'm going to show you some screenshots of some groups that I found here in just a few minutes. And you can choose to join, as many groups as you like. I mean, realistically, you want to only join the ones that you can participate in.
Yeah, I think there's a limit of 50, I think. But
oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually in close to 20, but I don't participate in every one every day, obviously. But I think there's a limit of 50, but most people will never get that far because you don't want to be in groups that you're not going to participate in, right? That, why join?
Defeats the purpose, exactly. Yeah. Well, and the rule of thumb that I've seen is to commit to or join 2 or 3 groups, and that's all. And so I'll share with you kind of what I found in terms of groups, but you can search groups and then take the time to look at them and see how many people are participating, how active they are, whether or not the topic or the discussions are specific to what you're looking for. Pick 2 or 3 that you want to focus on, and then make sure you're participating, get involved. It's just like any other social media platform. In order to have a presence, you need to have consistent participation. And so you want to carve out some time in your weekly calendar to go out there and participate. Whether it's once a week or once a day is up to you. But if you're only participating once every other month or so, that's not going to be sufficient to have the impact that you're wanting to have using a vehicle like LinkedIn. So just something to think about. Or you can start your own group, which is another great way to participate and then also get information or demonstrate your expertise. So the fourth strategy for LinkedIn is to use endorsements. So if you're in LinkedIn, you might have seen people are endorsing people left and right. And they can endorse your skills and your expertise. And you can even indicate the skills that you want to be known for by adding these when you edit your profile. So when you're in your profile mode, you want to make sure to list the skills that you want to be known for. And then LinkedIn will automatically start asking your connections to endorse you. That's pretty cool. Facebook doesn't do that, let me tell you. So once you list the skills you want to be endorsed for in your profile, the LinkedIn algorithm will automatically start asking your connections to endorse you. And then in return, you can also take time to pass along endorsements to those people who endorse you and vice versa, right? And it's very minimal effort. on your part to do this. But it goes a long way in terms of participation, and it goes a really long way in terms of demonstrating your authority on your subject matter. So something really good to think about. Number 5 is share content. So the news feeds on LinkedIn aren't as active as the news feeds on Facebook, meaning people aren't on LinkedIn 5, 6, 7 times a day sharing and commenting on pictures of their grandbaby or their new kitten, but they're just as effective and extremely meaningful among this community. And you can subscribe to daily emails that summarize the activity from people in your networks, and you want to make sure to share content. So it works kind of the same way. If you have a Facebook business page, you want to share content to demonstrate your expertise, and you also want to share content to provide value, and LinkedIn is another venue, so to speak, to do that. And, you know, I know, Lawrence, I know you've used sources like Hootsuite as an example. Hootsuite.com, you can sign up and make one post and have it connect to 3 or 4 different social media platforms. So you can go into a tool like Hootsuite, you can get the free version or the subscription, and then you can make one post and have it post to Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn all at the same time. And that's a really easy way to manage your content, and you can repurpose content. You might have slightly different content for a Facebook business page than you would for LinkedIn, but you can leverage a lot of that same content. You don't have to create new content, in other words. But you want to make sure you have a presence, and one way to do that is by sharing.
Yeah.
And
even sharing other people's content. I know I do it myself sometimes, but I have several LinkedIn friends, or whatever they're called.
Connection. They're called connections.
Yes, I know that. It's just funny because every social network has their own little term, you know.
I know.
But anyway, they are sharing out there, just sharing articles by other people that might be interesting to the particular group that they're in. And
yeah.
and I know I do that sometimes myself. Sometimes I'm probably about 60-70% sharing my own content because I just have so much of it. I'm full of it. Meaning content is what I meant. Yes.
That's so funny.
Yes, and what's funny is it's true, folks. Yeah, so you can ask her later. So the other 30%, I am just sharing other people's stuff. That's really good, and if people see that you have good taste, or that you have, you know, you're good at, you give good examples of macrame recipes, you know, or whatever it is that your group is interested in, then they will start reading your posts because they'll remember, oh yeah, that's the one that posts those really good articles.
Yes, and well, I was just going to say, you can link to or comment on blog posts. You can make comments about events you've been to, events you want to go to, events that are coming up and you think other people would benefit from. You can comment on quick tips, tips you heard from someone else, or your own personal tips. Any kind of content that your connections, right, your group would find valuable. So you definitely want to make sure to share content. Lawrence, you had another comment?
Probably later, yeah. Okay. I have many other comments, trust me. Don't worry, dear. I won't let you down.
I know, there's never a short supply. Oh my gosh. Right. So the 6th strategy I want to share is accept connection requests. And I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but it's also a strategy. And so what I mean by that is you can schedule time to check your LinkedIn invitations at least once a week and accept new requests from people who want to connect with you. That's so important. Letting them go too long sends a signal that you're not really participating, and that can be construed as you're not really serious. And so you want to make sure to accept requests. And, I mean, use your judgment. Accept requests from people that you want to network with. But once you start accepting requests, you might get some requests from readers or people who attended a talk you gave, or fellow members of a group you belong to that you're not already connected with. You know, it's amazing how this spreads. I mean, it really just, the whole networking system in LinkedIn has just legs of its own and can go wide and far. So a really great way to get connected with people. And then finally, I just want to reiterate how important it is to participate. Make sure that you're participating. I mean, this is true with any social media forum or network, but you want to make sure you're connected. So once a day, once a week, a couple times a month. If you're only logging in once a month, or if you're even going longer periods of time before logging in, you're just going to miss out on building your networks and staying active. And people who are on LinkedIn are really serious about this connection, and so they pay attention to that. So just something to think about. Stay connected and participate. And really, this was kind of my top 7 strategies. These are the ones that I feel as an author, a speaker, and a coach are manageable. These are the strategies that I can do, 30 minutes or an hour a week and be really effective in. And, we're busy. As entrepreneurs, we're busy. We're writing, we're speaking, we're coaching, we're marketing, we're selling ourselves, we're networking, we're doing so many aspects of our business. And I have to make sure to prioritize how I spend my time and be disciplined in that. And I can do that with these 7 strategies. So, Lawrence, did you have a comment or a thought about this list? I really liked this list. I thought it was good.
It's a great list, and I think if every one of us just even spent the next week doing just those things, nothing else, just maybe sit down for 30 minutes a day, just focus on each one of those things for 30 minutes, number 1, number 2, number 3, and then by the end of the week, we would see a marked difference in our performance on LinkedIn and on the number of page views we're getting and all that. And yes.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks. Also, you know what? I just want to say I had a quick minute to check the chats.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Yeah. So I've been corrected. Awesome. I've been corrected. And I don't take that lightly. Thank you. So I mentioned Guy Kawasaki earlier in his article. Well, I've been corrected. So Guy Kawasaki did not write the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I just want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. The person who wrote that book is Robert Kiyosaki, spelled differently, it looks like. So Guy, who I'm quoting in my 5 Ps of social networking, was actually a guru at Apple. I should have known that, and has gone on to write other books. He did not write Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Really appreciate that.
So next time,
honest.
Yeah. Next time, I think just for all of our quotes, we'll just write underneath, really smart guy who wrote a book, or really smart lady we met at a conference. Or,
no, you're so funny.
Gosh, yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you for the comment, and just please really appreciate that. So any other comments are absolutely welcome. Definitely.
Nice.
Awesome. So what I want to do now is just kind of share with you some interesting screenshots, and I just actually took these today. So I think you'll find them really interesting. Interesting groups, right? So if you're looking for groups as an author, a speaker, or a coach, they're really easy to search. And so I found actually a group to connect members together who are on Goodreads. And if you're an author, you're probably familiar with Goodreads. We haven't talked about Goodreads, and so that will be an upcoming episode. But there's a great group called Great Reads, and it lets you connect with people on Goodreads, which is another social media platform just for authors and readers. And they're busy. I mean, they're active. So they've had 3 discussions just this month, and they have 2,066 members in this group. Awesome. I thought that's a great example of a group I might be interested in joining. Now, here's why that got my attention, because I liked the title, Get My Free Book. And then when I read the description, it says this group gives authors an outlet to list and garner support for free book promotions and giveaways. And I thought, oh, that might be interesting. But there's only 47 members in this group. And they're probably all authors pimping their own books to each other. And so I'm not sure that's the group for me. It might be a group for a limited time, but I'd want to go in and check it out a little more closely and see if I could see what it's involved, what all is involved. But just sharing with you really different types of groups. I'll share with you also that I I did a search for writing group. There were 3,542 writing groups listed just today. And this is just the screenshot of the first 3 listed. And I really found this interesting. So authors, writers, publishers, editors, and writing professionals, that third group is really interesting. Looks like 47 discussions this month. Wow, that's a really active group because we're, third weekend of the month. And 21,000, over 21,000, almost 500 members. So you can take a look at the groups that are out there, and you want to really take some time to go through them. I did a search for speaking groups, and I found 3,176 speaking groups. And you can see this is, again, just the top 3 that came in the feed. That second one looks interesting, Public Speaking Network. People who want to be dynamic public speakers and are looking for opportunities to speak to groups. Cool. 69 discussions just this month. Again, another active group. 12,000, almost 13,000 members. Might be a good group to join and participate in. So just another example of groups. There's a ton of groups. Lawrence, you were talking earlier about groups. Mm-hmm. So then I looked for a coaching group. So for those of us who are also coaches, almost 8,000 results. Really fascinating. And a whole wide variety of coaching groups. Again, this is just the top 3 that showed up in the list. International Society for Coaching Psychology. That second one is really interesting. An international professional body. 67 discussions just this month. 21,000, almost 500 members. That's pretty cool. I was really impressed with the number of participation in a number of groups. And so I just want to encourage you that as you're looking to get connected, using groups is one of the strategies that we talked about for success. Type in your keywords, go look for the group that looks good for you, and then scroll through and take a look at them. Now, you can join them, you can view them, you can take a quick look at them. Joining is easy. You just hit that little blue join button. But you can also take a look at a group. So I went ahead and took a look at a group called Public Speaking Network. And look who's in the top of the group. Lawrence, I did not know that you were a member in this group. Isn't that funny? So there you are. They have 12, almost 13,000 members, and it tells you, if you look on the right side, it tells you when they started. So they've been going on for a while, March of 2008. That's pretty impressive. And I love this subgroup, Shameless Promotion, 198 members. Boy, I want to go check that out and see what that's all about. Doesn't that sound intriguing?
Well, it's interesting because what it does is it does sound intriguing. Yes, there's the name of it, the Shameless Promotion. But it exactly is that, right? So if you just, want to say, hey, everybody, I have a new book. Here's the name and here's where to buy it, or something like that. That way it keeps the discussion rather than just everybody posting. For example, this one is the Public Speaking Network. We want to ask each other questions about good speaking skills, different situations they've run into on the road or working with conference and event planners, those kind of questions, right? So every group has its own place, and there are other public speaking groups where it's just all day long, everybody posting, hey, I'm going to speak in Idaho on Tuesday. Y'all come by, And I don't think they'd say y'all in Idaho, but they, there are some groups that's all it is, right? But some of the groups, again, especially on LinkedIn as opposed to Facebook, are much more professional, and you start doing that and they'll delete them. The moderator will delete them or send you a nastygram and tell you to cut that stuff out. And I like the way this group did it, though. Made their own little subgroup of Shameless Promotion. So if you can't help but send one of those messages, that's where you put it.
Isn't that great?
Keeps you in the good graces.
Yeah. Well, and then also, Lawrence, now I know this. I know that you have been rated for a short time, and you're going to have to talk about this because I'm not quite sure I get it, but you were rated as the most contributing participator in 2 of the groups at one point, right?
Well, actually, yes. In the past, actually, just a couple of weeks in 2 different groups, but that's not the point. The point is, it's easy. I won't say it's easy to get there, but here's how it happened to me. Is I was in 2 of the different groups, and I was looking for answers to questions. And one of the questions was about what kind of fears do you have about selling? I was preparing for last week's webinar, actually, the one I did about getting over your fear of selling, which is still up on YouTube, by the way. So go to our website if you haven't seen it yet, because I'm going to be taking it down as soon as this one's ready. So maybe one more day you get to watch that one. But that was a really good episode, I thought. I don't know what Kristen thought.
Yeah, I loved it.
Anyway,
I thought it was great.
All right. But anyway, so I was doing some research for it, and I wanted to know what were people's real fears. And so I put on Facebook, on several groups, I put that question, if there were groups that had authors, speakers, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, those are the kind of people that we try to help with these webinars, right? And so I asked the question, what are your biggest fears around selling? If you're an author, are you afraid to write your proposal because the editor's going to reject it? Or are you afraid to call and ask for speaking gigs if you're a speaker? Well, guess what? You're not going to get any speaking gigs because they're not going to call you mostly, right? But I've asked some questions like that in those groups and then gotten some really good responses and then gone in and thanked people and continued discussion and even had a couple of people argue with me that, there's no way that an author could ever have fear of selling. And I was like, no, I don't think so. Every author I've ever met has had some fear that's holding them back, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's besides the point. That was the topic of last week, and go listen or watch the video on the website if you haven't done that yet. But I did want to make that point, though, so thank you for asking about it.
No, that's good. And actually, we have a request that's just can't come in. Can you give your LinkedIn contact info so people can go join your groups?
My LinkedIn contact info?
Yeah, and what groups are you part of?
Yeah, I'm part of,
well, you're part of this one.
Yes, Public Speaking Network. You actually showed one a couple of slides ago that I'm also in, and it's, I think there's...
Do you want me to go back?
Well, if you want, yeah.
Hold on.
Just go back one more.
Public Speaking Network?
No, one more. This one in the bottom here. Authors, writers, publishers, editors, and writing professionals with no religious or political discussion. And they're very serious about that. Don't even get off on what you think about the president, whether you love him or you don't, or, anything like that. It's all about the industry. These are professionals talking about professional topics, but it's great. Yeah. Awesome. I think this might have been the other one that I got a lot of participation in. I did another thing one time. It was a question about acronyms. What's their favorite acronyms? And so I actually saved a bunch of them, and eventually I'm going to put them together and either maybe make a little ebook out of them or something, right? But also use them, right? So that's the idea is, if we're speakers or whatever our profession is, right? Whatever our profession is, we want to learn more about it. And that's what these groups are for. And they're professional, and they'll help you develop yourself as a person or as a business developed person or as a writer or as a macrame artist, whatever it is you happen to be. Is there such a thing as a macrame artist? I don't know.
I'm sure there is. Yeah. Exactly. Awesome. Okay, good. Well, I also wanted to share.
I'm sorry, you did ask me to post my LinkedIn profile. I actually don't know what it is right offhand, and I'm afraid to mess with the computer right now because of our, I don't want to mess up the webinar. Look. So what I'll do is I'll just email it to everybody when we send out the reminder of the replay. Yeah.
Great.
But you can also just Google it. Sorry, am I interrupting too much? Okay. You can just Google it, and I'll bet it'll show up. Just Google Lawrence J. Clark and LinkedIn, and there I am. Okay. All right.
I can't get a word in edgewise.
Jeez. Okay. Your turn, honey.
I
There you go.
wanted to share that I also did a search of book publisher, not in groups, but in people. And it showed me 72, almost 73,000 results, people, for book publisher. And Edna Ellison, our friend
Oh yeah.
at New Hope Publishers,
Yep.
there she is,
She's real
and a
sweet.
whole list of different publishers. So if you have a particular genre of a book and you're looking to get published, LinkedIn is a great way to connect. Not necessarily to just reach right out and pitch your book to, but a great way to ask questions, great way to establish connections so you could pitch your book, down the road. Great way to find out what they're doing and what their thoughts are on how to approach publishers in general. I just thought this was fabulous. So a lot of great information in LinkedIn in terms of groups and people. And again, just reaffirming for me, I have some work to go do. So this week I'll be spending my time working on my LinkedIn page myself. And so what I wanted to do is just close quickly here with a word from today's sponsor, and you're not going to want to miss this. This is really great. The six-figure LinkedIn secrets. And what I really love about this is that you can simply go learn information. It's the LinkedIn ABCs, how you can quickly attract a flood of new clients, convert them into Stark Raving fans, build your expertise, and then create six figures in new business. We're talking money here. This is revenue stream, 6 figures in dollars. That's really great. And then also, it's free. And, we mentioned earlier that one of our promises is to deliver free and affordable. This is a free video series, and you will learn why LinkedIn works to get clients even better than your website. You will learn top LinkedIn mistakes that leave money on the table. You will learn a formula for $45,000 in revenue in 4 weeks. I'm really interested to see what that looks like. And you'll learn 6 simple step formula for 6-figure LinkedIn success. Even non-techies can follow. Okay, that's me.
And
I
say,
consider
yeah.
myself a non-techie.
There you go. She sells
And
by the seashore. Yeah.
that is exactly right.
Yeah.
And there are free video series. And so, if you're not happy with what you purchased, we will gladly refund your money, but a great way to get some more information about LinkedIn and see if it's for you. And so all you have to do, this is the
Actually, this
page.
one, yeah.
I'm going to share you the link in just a second.
Okay.
But this is the page. Once you go to the link, you'll get this page. And you just type in your name and your email address and click that Get Instant Access button to receive your free 4-part video training series. What were you going to say, Lawrence?
Oh, I just wanted to say just a little bit about Yoon. Yoon Cannon is the creator of this program, and she's a fellow member with us of a group called the JV Insider Circle, which is a business group for people who do stuff like what we're doing tonight. And I just wanted to let you know that she's a real person, and she's done a lot of really cool stuff. She's actually a former actress and has acted on the stage and Broadway and all kinds of cool stuff. And she got into business coaching and has been doing it, I believe, for like 10 or 12 years now. And she's just a really, really nice, sweet person. And besides the fact she's really, really smart. And she's going to get, and the other thing is this thing is free, right? So sometimes we, mention things at the end of our webinars that are for sale or whatever, and that's fine, and that's good. And sometimes they cost a little bit, sometimes they cost a little more, and it just depends on what they are. But this here is actually, this 4-part series is, I would be selling it. I wouldn't be giving it away if I were her. But before she changes her mind, I would just go ahead and get access to it because I think you'll like what she has to say.
Yep, and I'm going to show you the link. And Lawrence, when I flash it on the screen, I think you can copy it into the chat box, right? So people can just click on it.
I believe I can. So
Awesome. But before I do, I just want to ask, is this a helpful conversation for everybody? Is this information interesting? Are you intrigued and are you interested to take a more serious look at LinkedIn as a marketing vehicle or a social media marketing platform for yourself and your business as an entrepreneur? Would just love to get your thoughts on that.
Let's see, Kristen, and while they're answering, could you please send me that link, or just tell me the link?
Here, I'm going to just go. Yeah, I'm going to go right now. Here we go. There it is. Can you see it?
Okay, yes, I can see it. So let me just
That's
look
the
at
link.
that for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'll
type that
it
in.
I can't quite copy and paste it, but I can type it in. Okay.
Okay. Go here. Oh, great. Got a couple folks said, yes, this is good stuff. Yes, interested in learning more. Yes. Excellent. Yes, considering LinkedIn more seriously. Me too. By the way, just in the spirit of transparency, I want to say that I wasn't really committed to LinkedIn before as an entrepreneur, as an author, a speaker, and a coach. And so now I'm really rethinking that. And as I said earlier, I've got some work to do to go beef up my profile and use this a little bit more. So did you type that in, Lawrence, in the box?
Yes, it's a really long number here. Let's see. So I got, I'm just proofreading it right now. 1593213. Okay, so I'm going to send that out, and if somebody could do me a favor, please, somebody out there in Cyberland, if you could just click on that link, and if you click on that link, it should open the other window with that in. And when you do, if you could just type into the question box that the link worked, or don't just say yes because we won't know what you're referring to. But let's see.
Yeah, and Lawrence, can you see any other comments or questions? I'm wondering if you had some
I see
questions
a few couple of just comments here and there, a couple of funny little notes. Google juice.
Oh.
Okay. Drinking the Google juice. Okay.
I love that one. That's good. Drinking the Google juice. That's funny.
Anyway, let's see here.
What else do you have? Anything else in there?
Are you? Can you see these two or not? Sometimes I know. Sometimes, depending what mode you're in.
I'm seeing some, but not all of them.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. I'm going to just do something here since you're presenting.
Oh, it did not work. The link did not work.
It did not work. Let's see.
Right.
Well,
I can type it in if it's easier.
Yeah, can you type, if you can send it to me as a message, I can copy it and paste it into the box.
Here,
unless it will let you.
Let me do this. Yeah. Oops. Let me do this, folks.
Okay,
Thank you for your patience with us. I'm going to put it in the chat box to the entire audience. So I think I just sent it.
Yes. Good.
Did you get it?
That was fast. Okay, but let's make sure it works, though.
Check it out.
I'm trying it myself as well.
Okay, good. That was the link I got. I want to make sure it works.
It did work for me, sixfigurelinkedInsecrets.com. Oops, hold on. Let's turn.
Oh, the video started.
Lovely, but yes, we're going to turn you off here. Sorry. Nothing personal. There you go. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, awesome.
But that's what she sounds like.
Sorry.
That's what she sounds like. Yeah. We gave a live demonstration.
So we have one comment said, oh, made it work. Okay, great. Great, Gary. I see your note. Okay, excellent. It worked. We're good. Great. Okay, excellent. Well, go check it out. Go sign up for this 4-part video series. Take your time to learn more about LinkedIn. You know, it's just so helpful to have so many tools in our tool belt as entrepreneurs, as we're trying to grow our business. You know, the reality is that the book publishing world in particular has just changed so dramatically over the last couple of years. And as speakers and coaches, we really do need to do a better job at marketing and promoting ourselves. We can be the best. You know, we can have the best written novel, and we can have the best speaking topic, and we can have the best coaching service, but if no one knows about it, doesn't really matter if we're the best. We're not going to get any business. And this is just another great reminder to us that we need to be good stewards of our own work and our own opportunities and take every opportunity you can to be successful. So link worked. Great. Thanks, Vicki. Appreciate that feedback. Awesome. I think we're good. This is great. I really
Yeah.
appreciate your comments, everyone. And we'll go ahead and just wrap it up and give you 5 minutes left of your hour. And thank you again so much for joining us tonight. And as Lawrence said, we're going to make a replay of this video. We'll post it. We'll send the link out to you sometime tomorrow or Wednesday. And please feel free to invite people you think would be interested in joining us on Monday nights. We're going to be here on Monday nights, same bat time, same bat channel, so to speak, looking for new ways to grow our business, get more speaking gigs, sell more books, attract new clients. And if you found this time helpful and valuable, great. Join us again next week and help spread the word. We'd love to have more people join us. So with that, I will say good night. Lawrence, you want to say good night?
I'll say good night. God bless. Good night. Have a great day, afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are when you're listening in. But I think you did a great job, Krista. So good job. And we will see you all next Monday night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great. Thanks. Cheers.